But my family was really supportive, and they're still supportive now and have helped me a lot through this process.
So, what'd you do?
I had the baby. He is now 7.5 months old, and he's healthy and happy, and all families get along, and we're working through what this is going to look like for the future. The baby's daddy, he is sometimes in the picture. He's in the military, so he joined when I was pregnant, and he's still doing training, so he's away. He comes home every few months and is around for about a week and sees the baby some during that time, and we're on a more communicative level at this point, so kind of my decision to be at the level that we're at.
So, financially supportive?
He is financially supportive. I'm currently in school and I don't have a job, so I have no source of income, and he does. And he gives me some money every month. We haven't figured out child support and that kind of documentation and legal stuff, but he's financially supportive and somewhat emotionally supportive of me and definitely of the baby, and he loves the baby, so. The baby's daddy, he is sometimes in the picture. He's in the military, so he joined when I was pregnant, and he's still doing training, so he's away. He comes home every few months and is around for about a week and sees the baby some during that time, and we're on a more communicative level at this point, so kind of my decision to be at the level that we're at.
So, financially supportive?
He is financially supportive. I'm currently in school and I don't have a job, so I have no source of income, and he does. And he gives me some money every month. We haven't figured out child support and that kind of documentation and legal stuff, but he's financially supportive and somewhat emotionally supportive of me and definitely of the baby, and he loves the baby, so.
So, how's it been for real? Like, as young as you were in the midst of your college years, thinking you're about to finish in a couple of years and you're going to go have a degree and be in the city and be single and.
It's been really hard to have a baby so young, and I feel like I've missed out on a lot of the college experience and what will be my 20s, and that's been really hard. And I think no matter what age you're at, you always feel like you're missing out on something. You could be 40 and have a baby and feel like you're missing out on some kind of party, but for me, I think it's especially hard because I'm still trying to figure out who I am in the world, and adding on the definition of mother has been really difficult. And at first I never wanted to leave him. Like the first 3 months that he was alive, I just couldn't imagine him going to school or daycare or me going back to school or anything like that. And now I cannot wait until he's old enough to go to school. I recommend to all girls and all guys, if you're having sex, you need to be on birth control and you need to use condoms, because it only has to be one time that you can get pregnant or that you can get a disease, and it's not something that you want to play around with. And for girls specifically, be careful who you have sex with, and because you need to really know what would happen if I got pregnant, and how would this person act and react and support me, because you think you know somebody and then you get pregnant and you have no idea who they are. As far as 16 and Pregnant and Teen Mom on MTV, I think it shows how difficult motherhood can be when you're young, but there are some parts of it that they make it seem like fun, especially with the girls who end up getting married and having these great lives, and because it's very rare that that actually happens, or that the couple will stay together, as we've seen on these shows. So I think it's helpful to see this is what'll happen if you get pregnant. Even if it's someone that you've been dating for a long time, you're going to fight. You're going to have arguments. He's going to leave. He's going to come back. He's going to leave again, and you cannot count on the guy to be supportive of what you're doing with your body and your child, and it's a tough road to go down. And I think those TV shows help somewhat.
If somebody had told you 3 years ago, you're going to be pregnant if you don't do this, or you need to seriously think about who you're sleeping with, would you have paid any attention?
If someone had told me I was going to get pregnant, I probably would have stayed on birth control. But if someone had said, you need to be careful who you're having sex with, I probably wouldn't have listened to them.
Would you change anything?
On some days, my answer would be hell yes. I would change everything I did, and I would not... there are so many things I would have done differently, but at this point, I can't imagine not seeing my baby smile every day.
What made you decide to keep the baby instead of terminating or adoption?
Adoption was really never on the table. Both me and my ex-boyfriend did not feel comfortable doing that, and I emotionally didn't think I could handle an abortion. I had a friend who had an abortion. I have a few friends who'd had abortions, but this one particular friend has a baby and had an abortion after, and she said she thinks about it every day, and that it just is it's emotionally draining for her. And I didn't think I could handle that kind of pain, and especially being in the position that I'm in now. I could make it happen. My family was in a position where we could make it happen. I was in a position where I thought I can make this work, and even if I'm going it alone, kids are going to have sex. And I would say keep your kids safe in any way that you can, which to me means birth control, condoms, providing those options. Educate your girls on the advantages of birth control and the morning after pill even. I mean, it works for 80% of the population. And on condoms. Educate your boys about birth control, and that the girls that they are going to sleep with need to be on birth control, because what would they do? And they need to ask themselves the questions: how worth it is it to get pregnant and be in that situation, or to have a disease? How worth it is it to do that by not wearing a condom or not having birth control, just because you're too embarrassed to talk to your kids, or your kids are too embarrassed to talk to you about those options?
Do you think as parents, and this is always, I think, a concern, if I say to you, well, I will provide you birth control or I will provide you condoms, that we're tacitly agreeing to it or condoning it in some way?
Kids are going to have sex, so it's really up to the parents whether or not they want their kids to be healthy, and it's not agreeing to, hey, I'm asking you to go be promiscuous. It's saying, I'm aware of what's going on, and I recommend that you be safe, and I want to help you in any way possible.
But is it still okay as a parent to say, my desire is for you to not have sex or to be in a committed relationship or to be in love?
Of course, you need to have those conversations with your kids about what the ideal situation to have sex is, and even if it might not be realistic at that point in time, but it's, you can say, of course you can say, my desire is for you not to have sex, or for you to wait until you're this age, or until you're married, but if you get into a situation where you decide that's not right for you, here are some other options.
Well, Leah, thank you for sharing what had to have been a very difficult time in your life. And congratulations on your new baby.
Thank you.